The FDA has permitted us to dose two types of patients in that trial. One is, as you mentioned, patients who are drug naive, meaning they're not on any drug at all. And the other kind of patient are patients who have early Alzheimer's and have been on an anti-amyloid therapy, such as Leqembi or donanemab, lecanemab or donanemab, which are anti-amyloid therapies, for 6 months.
Welcome back inside our proactive newsroom, and joining me now is Ivor Elrifi. He is the CEO of Tiziana Life Sciences. And Ivor, it's great to see you again. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you again. Everything is good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that because the company's out with pretty significant news today. I'll let you sort of take it from there because this is a key milestone for the company.
So we have very exciting news across a number of fronts. We are ringing the NASDAQ closing bell today, which is a very proud moment for us. We also dosed our first Alzheimer's patient yesterday. So we now have 3 phase 2 trials underway and a 4th one about to begin next month. Very good headwinds for us right now.
Yeah, maybe you can sort of talk to us a little bit about those phase 2s and what you're looking at, and just so people are completely up to date with what the company does.
Sure. So we have our lead asset is a fully human monoclonal antibody that binds to CD3. It's called Foralumab. What we are trying to do is reduce neuroinflammation. Neuroinflammation is common across many neurodegenerative diseases. And we have an ongoing phase 2 trial in a disease called secondary progressive multiple sclerosis, SPMS. We're very close to concluding enrollment in that study. We expect to have top-line data readout in 2026. We have a second clinical trial, a phase 2 trial in a disease called multiple system atrophy, for which there's no approved therapy. We expect to have a top-line readout in 2026 for that trial. As I just mentioned, we have just dosed our first patient yesterday in our early Alzheimer's phase 2 clinical study. And we expect to have data readout, top-line readout in 2026 in that study. And in January, we expect to start our ALS clinical trial. And we're very proud of that because we applied for and were approved for entry into a program called ALS MyMatch, which is the preeminent organization for clinical trial excellence in ALS. It's a group of 4 centers and the top ALS physicians and clinicians in the world. And we're very excited about that.
Okay, just on the dosing of the first patient, that trial is kind of twofold. It's on to see what would happen as a standalone, but also with current care that's out there. Is that right?
Correct. So the FDA has permitted us to dose two types of patients in that trial. One is, as you mentioned, patients who are drug naive, meaning they're not on any drug at all. And the other kind of patient are patients who have early Alzheimer's and have been on an anti-amyloid therapy, such as Leqembi or donanemab, lecanemab or donanemab, which are anti-amyloid therapies, for 6 months. And so it is our view, and we have data to support this, that patients, even if they're on an anti-amyloid therapy, still have significant neuroinflammation. So what we're expecting to see, what we hope to see, is a reduction in neuroinflammation along with a reduction in the amyloid buildup in those patients.
Yeah. I mentioned this is a key milestone for the company, but it sounds like there's a 2026. It seems to be there's going to be a number of key milestones. Is that what investors should understand, is where the company's sort of headed next year?
Yes, I think that's exactly right. We expect to have top-line readout in 3 phase 2 trials next year. SPMS, and let me remind everybody, SPMS is not the same as relapsing remitting MS. Relapsing remitting has good therapies. SPMS does not. So it's a real unmet need, and we have fast track designation from the FDA for that disease. MSA, multiple system atrophy, There is no approved therapy. It's orphan, so we're going to get fast track and orphan designation from the FDA for that. And that will also read out in 2026. And Alzheimer's, the trial we just talked about, we expect that to read out in 2026 as well. ALS, we hope to read out in 2026, but it may, it could bleed over into Q1 of 2027, depending on enrollment. We don't know yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes a lot of sense. Well, congratulations on getting that first patient done. It's an important part, and I look forward to many more conversations in 2026, Ivor. Thanks so much. Good to see you again, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays.
Yeah, you as well. There's Ivor Elrifi. He is the CEO of Tiziana Life Sciences.